Welcome to another production of Park TV 16 Sports on Location. We are broadcasting from the Lindbergh Center Gymnasium, the home of the Hopkins. Who are the Hopkins? I don't know who Hopkins is, but they're not playing here. The Royals, that's right. St. Louis Park is playing here in the semifinal matchup of Section 6 Quadruple A girls basketball. The Trojans come in with a 23-4 record. I think they're ranked second, third, or fourth in the state. I'm Robert Christensen. Glad you're with us. St. Louis Park comes in with a 14-12 record. Wayzata 23-4, and they are led by Annika Stewart, number 30, right there in the middle. She's 6'4", senior, going against Kendall Coley, who's 6'2", and St. Louis Park gets the tip right underneath to Reagan Alexander, and she struggles again with that shot underneath early on. Gets her own rebound. Shayla Miller from the outside. Short jumper out, handoff to Turk, and she puts it in. Nice heads-up play, handoff, pass, however you want to call it, by Reagan Alexander. And Jordan Turk gets St. Louis Park off to a great start, and now that pass almost off the mark, but recovering it nicely for Wayzata. That's Mara Braun, number 10, a sophomore. Now with the ball for Wayzata, that's Olivia Arnebeck. St. Louis Park in a man-to-man defense, or woman-to-woman defense. Person-to-person defense might be the best way to characterize this. Okay, Turek now right on top of Braun. Good defense so far by St. Louis Park. Braun, though, with a nice running layup on the left side with the left hand, banks it in. Now Yarish. Looks like St. Louis Park looking to push the ball up the court. That's Kendall Coley on the baseline, and she's going to be called for traveling. So could be a few nerves here for the Orioles. They made it this far last year before they ran into Hopkins at the semifinal. This year they draw the Trojans. And they have a 2-0 early lead and one turnover, one made basket. Now quickly, Braun, shot from the three-point land, ends up in Coley's hand, and on the break, Braun gets the interception, and Braun is really establishing herself as a force for Wayzata early on as she leads that interception and gives the dish to number 12, Arnebeck, and she ties it up, and it's now 4-0. They've got a 4-2 lead, excuse me. So Wayzata now 4-2 lead. Yarosh with it to Turek, number 21, the senior. Down low to Reagan Alexander. Good defense by number 30, Annika Stewart, the 6'4" senior center, able to block that pass. And that's the second turnover in a row for the Orioles. Now ball played underneath and out of bounds. That was number 23 for Wayzata. Jasmine Smiley, also a senior, 5'4" guard. Try to get it down low to Stewart. And here comes Kendall Coley. She'll bring it up the court. On her is Mara Braun, and Braun, quick hands with another steal, her second in a row, the team's third in a row. That's 3 straight turnovers for the Orioles. And now we got double dribble and a turnover, unforced error, called on Olivia Arnebeck, the senior guard. So both teams exchanging turnovers here. St. Louis Park the last 3 times down the court, and now Yarosh is out, and in for her is number 3, Joelle Sheffield, the junior guard. And she's very quick out there, very smooth. Now Turk, the senior. And now another turnover and a third steal in a row by that woman right there, Mara Braun. She brings it in with the right-handed layup on the left side. And the Trojans now taking advantage of the miscues of St. Louis Park. That's 4 consecutive turnovers down the court here. And you wonder if Coach Richardson might want to take a timeout here if that happens again. Now Shayla Miller, the senior, coming in, the junior, and she drives and draws the foul, and she'll go to the line. So nice decision there by Shayla Miller. Drawing the foul. Number 40, Abby Kraslinski, gets the call on her. She's just a freshman, Shayla Miller, at the line, and she gets that one to go. Now some substitutions. Kendall Coley steps out for the Orioles. In for her is Faith Johnson, the junior guard, and I think for St. Louis Park sitting down was Olivia Arnebeck, as Shayla Miller makes that second one. So nice job there by the Orioles, and now they got their press. I was going to wonder about that. Off the made free throw, and Wayzata was ready for it, had no problems breaking it that first time. Now on the far wing, that's number 15, Lydia Hay. She's the one that just came in, and she hits a 3 off the bench. Lydia Hay, number 15. She's a 6-foot guard, senior, So lots of height issues here for the Orioles. They've got some good height with Reagan Alexander and Kendall Coley also, but not quite the same amount of height as now. Shayla Miller hits one, takes one from outside, and that misses off the rim, and that's Mara Brown. She is everywhere here for the Wayzata Trojans tonight so far. The difference, and now the drive with the left-handed and the whistle, and that was number 40, Abby Kruswinski.
Fouls on number 4, Faith Johnson.
Driving there, and Faith Johnson, who just checked in, gets the foul. First team foul on the Orioles, one team foul on the Trojans. 14:29 remaining here, first half. We're at the Lindbergh Center as we look at that replay. And there is Kruswinski.
And for Wayzata, number
Turek now will be substituted for by Kendall Coley, now back in the match. Mara Brown, the 5'11", there she is just in your screen there, has really been, she's got a Paige Bucher-like game. Just running the show, intercepting, point guard, making shots. She almost stole another one there. Shea Miller off the net, and guess who gets the rebound? Braun. Wow, she's something to watch here, folks. She steps back just like Harden for the Houston Rockets, and ooh, it could have been a foul on Stewart. She got away with one. That would have been a nice one for the Orioles to get. If they can get Kristen Stewart in foul trouble, I think that should be a strategy, is just to drive on her. And there, the ball tried to get into Kendall Coley, but Stewart was there on the miscue, and now Mara Brown into the front court to Stewart. And she'll take one from way outside. The 6'4" senior. Ball dribbles out of the rim, now into the front court quickly. And the give and go to Faith Miller, and she puts the layup in off the board, and that's a big shot there for the Orioles. Down 4 now, 10-6, 13:38 to go. Great shot there by Miller, trying to keep pace with the Trojans underneath, and there is Stewart, and what are you gonna do? They need to get some weak side help on that. You cannot guard Kristen Stewart all by yourself. They've got to have some weak side help, and there was no one there to help out Reagan Alexander. She takes the short jumper, and that's nice to see her find her range early here with 13:14 to go. 4-point differential here. Now Mara Brown into the front court for the Trojans. Great matchup here. Great basketball being played. Now Stewart, there's Reagan Alexander, and you can see Faith Johnson was there to help out, and they didn't need her, but she was there that time. Good to see. Now Reagan Alexander in the front court, gives it up to Kendall Coley. Coley now drives the lane, spins, turns, shoots, and makes it. Big time shot by Kendall Coley. Brings the Orioles within 2, 12-10, 12:44 to go here in the first half. And a timeout by Wayzata as Coach Mike Schumacher didn't like to see the latest run there by the Orioles. And Kendall Coley there was just a beautiful looking shot. So really good to see the Orioles off to a good shooting start. That hasn't been their normal. Usually they've been more of a second half team from my limited experience seeing them. So to see Reagan Alexander make that jump shot early, and Kendall Coley, there's Reagan Alexander's shot. Nice and smooth, nothing but net. They look very confident. They've been here before, and they've been playing a lot of basketball the last few years. These girls were starting as 9th graders, Kendall Coley and Reagan Alexander, and now they're juniors. They've been to the dance here. They've seen the pressure. They're only juniors still. They got a whole nother year ahead of them, but they want to do some damage and get to that championship game here tonight. And now checking in as we look at good crowd here on hand. Winner will take on Hopkins, who won easily earlier in the other semifinal at 5:30 in this gymnasium, and they will square off the winner of this match versus Hopkins next Thursday night at 7 o'clock, I think right back here at the Lindbergh Center. Okay, coming out of the timeout, 12:41 remaining. And pressure, Jordan Turk now checks back in, and also checking in is Hegdahl, number 5 for St. Louis Park. Kaya Hegdahl, I had never seen her play. She is just an 8th grader, but she plays tenacious defense. She had 18 points as an 8th grader, having not played all year, and now she's in on defense, and she is guarding right there at the top. Keep an eye on her to see if she can follow up that great performance the other night. Blocked by Coley. Rebound goes to Wayzata, but she's out of bounds. The ball was in the hands of Olivia Arnebeck, and she stepped out of bounds. So good defense by the Orioles and a chance to tie it up here. This trip down the court, they'll be met right at half court. comes Jordan Turk, this sure-handed senior, to Coley on the side. Wayzata doing a nice job contesting those passing lanes. And way outside, Kendall Coley delivers the three and takes the lead for the Orioles, 13-12. She is hot, get her the ball. Okay, now into the front court. Trojans now down one. Shayla Miller's gonna check in. Down low, and they have Kristen Stewart bottled up, and there's a steal for Reagan Alexander. Nice job, and there they had weak side help. They cannot let Kristen Stewart be guarded one-on-one when she's on that post. And a great job there, and here comes Coley. She's feeling it from three-point land, off the rim. Rebound to the Trojans, and they're gonna call. You can hear the slap. Not sure it's gonna be on either Turk or Faith Johnson. They're gonna call it on Jordan Turk. So that'll be her first and second team foul.
Number 10, Braun back in the game.
And now checking in, there is Mara Braun, just a sophomore. Okay, into the front court, on the wing is Arnebeck. Arnebeck now to Stewart. They like to keep the 6'4" senior way out from the basket, but now she'll try to get position underneath, and there's another steal. This time Hegdahl comes away with it. The 8th grader into the front court. She'll turn and give it to Urosh. She quickly gives it down to Turk, who saves it from going out of bounds. Now Urosh drives the lane, back out to Turk. She'll take the three, and she makes it! My goodness. Orioles are playing some of their best basketball of the year here in the first half of this semifinal. 4-point lead into Stewart. She's gonna get that one off the rim though, and nice job by Shayla Miller. She tipped it to Kendall Coley. She pushes it to Turk. Turk down low to Urosh. Urosh with the shot, misses off the board. Stewart with the rebound. Now the Trojans back in front court. Mara Braun quickly on the wing to number 15. That is Lydia Hay. Hay now to Stewart. Kendall Coley on her, and there's Shayla Miller getting into it, down underneath, away from the ball, and clearly that was a foul, but not bad foul if you ask me. Shayla Miller, they're trying to establish position down there. I don't know if we can see it, but let's look at Turk's big three-pointer right from the hip, and look at that great angle. Great camera angle by ParkTV 16 Sports. All right, now top of the key, quick rotation, driving all the way in nicely for the Trojans. Jasmine Smiley, number 23. Very authoritative drive there. Now Miller in the front court, Park up by 2, crosses over, and Mara Braun almost steals another one. She is something else on defense, on the boards, on the offensive end.
31, Shayla Miller.
All right, Coley now to throw it in. Joelle Sheffield now to Faith Johnson. 2-point lead, now below 10 minutes, 9:48 to go. First half, and they are now in the zone defense. They've switched it up now, and there's Mara Braun, almost tried to get the interception, but can they make her pay? And they do, with the turnaround jump shot. Kendall Coley is on fire, folks. 9:33 to go. That's at least her third or fourth made shot. A couple from three-point land. She's in double digits already. Really clean game being played here. Just great basketball action. And now the block. Faith Johnson just barely got her with the hip, I'd say, right there. Yep, just riding her a little bit there, trying to keep her away from the basket. Not bad defense, though, and she'll take a seat. Faith Johnson, that is now 4th team foul to Wayzata's first, and there's Kendall Coley on the other end, and boy, she is just in fine shooting form tonight. Now Stewart down low, 3 seconds, they didn't call it. Now they did, they did call it. The ref on the far side all over that. I thought she was camping in there a little too much, Kristen Stewart that is. And now a little pressure, full court pressure being displayed by the Trojans. Just token pressure, just a little bit, just to slow them down. And now Sheffield shows her speed, and now Turk tries it again from the outside. This time it's off the boards. Mara Braun with the rebound for the Trojans. 9 minutes to go now, first half. Quickly driving, number 12 is Arnebeck, and she draws the foul. As she hits the deck, she'll go to the line and shoot two right there.
Number 23, Reagan Alexander.
Oh, Reagan Alexander for reaching in. But boy, it looked like she got all ball, but they're gonna call that every time. Unfortunately for the Orioles that time. Now that's Olivia Arnebeck, senior, 5'7" guard. Hits that free throw. 18-15 here, 8:56 remaining. The Shayla Miller just checks in as Hegdahl checks out for the Orioles. And now Arnebeck, shot number 2. Off the rim, rebound Coley. Now Sheffield. Turek. Sheffield now to the other side. Miller. Good ball rotation. And they tried to get into Kendall Coley and just slipped through her fingers. It was going to be tight in there. Now Kristen Stewart rotates the ball to the left side. Oh, one-handed pass to Mara Brown. She puts the shot up there. And great box out by Kendall Coley. She is really playing well tonight on both ends of the court. Great box out there. Allowed her to get that ball. Now Miller. Sheffield to the near side. Now Turek Coley turn, jump shot, good. Wow.
32,
Wow. 5-point lead for the Orioles. Down low, Stewart, they call the foul on Shayla Miller, who came over for weak side help. That's gonna be an issue now going forward. That's the 16th foul. Let's see, Miller's just right there. That's a bad call. What are they doing? She didn't even touch her. Good grief. St. Louis Park's gonna need to work the officials on that one. I would be. Say, hey, let them play defense. She was just standing there, their arms straight up. So with 7:51, and this is a key stat here, we'll see how it plays out as we look at Kendall Coley. Look at that, the net barely rippled there. She is dialed in. There's Reagan Alexander also playing well. Just fundamentally, they are just in top form here, the Orioles. Just on that box out for that. And now finally another foul, finally. This time on number 25, that is Bryn Senden. Second team foul, but the Trojans are gonna be in the bonus for the remainder of the first half, and there's quite a bit, and not sure what happened there. Did she just throw that out of bounds? Like,
number 23, Reagan Alexander.
oh, or did they reverse the call? Okay, they didn't call the, I'm confused. Not the first time, that's for sure. Okay, 2 team fouls on Wayzata. They just called a foul on Reagan Alexander, so that's 7, but it's not a shooting foul because it was an offensive foul, I guess, so that's why they're not going to the boards as they pass it down to Kristen Stewart. This time there was no weak side help, and she put it in off the boards and in. So 2-point differential, 9:28 to go. Sheffield, nice job on the pressure, bringing the ball across the line. Now Turek, she'll work from the top of the key. Backs off. And now that's Alexander. And her 3-point shot off the back of the rim. And the backboard and out of bounds. So 7:12 remaining. And now Hegdahl comes back in for Sheffield, the 8th grader. There she is, number 5. Kaya Hegdahl. And made quite an impact the other night. And now here's a turnover. Reagan Alexander almost loses it, but Yarosh catches up to it, gets it back to Alexander. She's got the baseline. They rotate to Hegdahl. Her shot is good. Kaya Hegdahl picks up where she left off the other night in the quarterfinal. And she's 1 for 1. And a steal tonight already. Out of bounds this time. Trojans retain possession. And here's this shot, folks. How about that 8th grader? With Mara Brown right in her face against the 3rd-ranked team in the state. And now Reagan Alexander will take a deserved break. 6:42 remaining. Now new substitutions also for the Trojans. Sitting down, number 25, Senden, and number 12, is that Arnebeck? Yes. Mar Brown now within the top of the key. Stewart, the 6'4" senior, drains it over number 15 who checked in for the Orioles. Isis Brown getting some minutes now. So Stewart can hit that 3 when she's wide open. Now Isis Brown gets it to Hegdahl. Hegdahl looking. Ball, it's Turek, nice job handling, comes right in, and she draws the foul. She drives, and Stewart will get the foul. It's good, number 30. I don't think that's her first.
Number 30, Monica Stewart, that's her first.
That's her first
For
personal.
St. Louis Park, number 23, Reagan Alexander, number 31, Shayla Miller.
Okay, substitutions now. Isis Brown will take a seat along with Yarosh, and Shayla Miller comes in to throw it in. Reagan Alexander quickly back in. Just a quick break for her. 6:13 remaining. Orioles 1-point lead, and they've had it for the last several minutes. Ooh, yep, that was a travel. Oh, unforced error there. Got to eliminate those.
Number 3.
All right, now more substitutions. So Coach Arsenio Richardson now bringing Yarosh in for defense, and now takes out Reagan Alexander and Shayla Miller. That could be to minimize the fouls on defense here. Now the shot from way outside, spins in and out, ball loose. And Wayzata comes away with it. Mara Brown from way outside delivers the 3. Boy, she's a talented player, number 10, and now the ball goes out of bounds. Yarosh, another unforced error and a turnover against the Orioles, and they find themselves down 2, and the Trojans have possession. .5:41 remaining here, first half. Now to the corner on the near side. Sheffield on defense, now rotates around to Braun. Braun, number 10. Stewart, that could have been a travel maybe. Now she stutter steps and goes all the way in, and that 6'4" frame is hard to stop when she gets positioned like that. Now Hegdahl from outside, off the mark. Kendall Coley, they're gonna call it off Trojans. Ball goes to the Orioles here, and there's Stewart right there. Not quite a travel. Could have been, maybe. Good no call. Okay, Shayla Miller to throw it in for the Orioles here. 5:19 remaining. Top of the key. Kendall Coley staves it. Now Turek. Jordan Turek, she is a steadying influence on this Oriole team. And we got a whistle and a call away from the play, and they're going to call it on number 40 for the Trojans. So the foul's evening up here team-wise. That's a hold on defense away from the ball, so another throw in for Shayla Miller and the Orioles. And 40 is Kraswinski, and she's going to check out, and in checks Olivia Arnebeck that you saw right there. Number 12, okay, now another throw in here. Orioles need a basket, down 4. Turek, the senior, comes right in. No call, they did call, and she'll go to the line. Clock stopped at 5:07 remaining. Turek, when you feel that pressure, that's what you do. You go right to the basket, and she drew the foul. Makes the first one. Now checking in, Faith Johnson and Reagan Alexander. Hegdahl comes in, so she's coming in to play defense, and Richardson clearly has a strategy here to keep Reagan Alexander and Shayla Miller off the defensive end of the court. And I think that's just to keep them out of foul trouble. And if you can do it, I think it's a good strategy. The substitutes, they've gotten a lot of playing time this year. They're not novices, that's for sure. Driving, and another whistle and a call. This time the foul on Sheffield. Joelle Sheffield, number 3, her first personal. 8th team foul. But this will be a 2-point shot, and there's Reagan Alexander just looking across the way here. And they're going to check in. Yep, there they go. So there is a pattern here for Arsenio Richardson. Especially here in the first half, you don't want to get your big knockers in foul trouble here. Okay, now 4-point lead now for the Trojans. 4:50 remaining. Sheffield brings it across the timeline. Over to the wing. Turek sees her opportunity on the baseline, goes out of bounds. And there'll be a throw in from the near side. That's Shayla Miller, number 31. And gets it in just barely in time. It's going to be an oh, maybe not. Nope, she didn't touch it. Would have been over and back had she touched it and then not caught it and then went and retrieved it in the backcourt. Reagan Alexander delivers from the outside. And we got a timeout by Richardson, and he's going to substitute him in, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Here comes Hegdahl and Faith Johnson, and this is exactly what he's thinking about. You got Reagan Alexander draining the three, calls a timeout with 4:28 to go. There's Reagan Alexander popping up right there as Coach Richardson instructs them. We'll look at the brackets. Hopkins, I didn't know what the score of the Cooper match was. I didn't quite catch it when I arrived here at the Lindbergh Center in Hopkins, Minnesota. I think we're in Hopkins, Minnesota. And there's the St. Louis Park Wayzata match we're bringing you right now. 4:28 remaining. Great matchup. Just 1 point separates these two teams. Neither one of them played each other during the year. And now Wayzata with the ball and the 1 point lead. That's Smiley down low, and Kendall Coley this time with a nice fronting defense on Stewart. And Sheffield got a little anxious there. I like Richardson though, when he comes off the bench though, there's no angst or anguish about that miscue. Just calm down. Got a great game plan here. He's got a strategy. Now Mara Braun into the front court. That is number 23, Smiley. Down low, Faith Johnson over to help. And no call, no foul, but the basket counts for the Trojans. Now Sheffield pushes it up. This time she gets Hegdahl. Hegdahl with the spin move. And the block and the save goes to the Trojans. What defense by the Trojans. Now Mara Braun looking to make a break here, but she saw she did not have the numbers. She turns back around. Now Smiley, almost lost his Hegdahl on defense. Very quick over there. Now Smiley, now in the near corner. That's number 10, Braun, and she finds Stewart underneath on the box. Stewart's gonna get those. You're not gonna stop her every time. She's just too tall, 6'4", and too well skilled down low. She's got good fundamentals on the box, or on the blocks as they say, down low. Now Turek. Orioles down 5. I think it's their largest deficit of the night. So this is a dicey part of any basketball game. Waning minutes of the first half. Wayzata heavily favored here, the number 3 team in the state. And boy, almost another turnover there. Turek now. Hegdahl. Now Coley wide open from the side, makes it! My goodness, is she shooting lights out tonight. I don't think she's missed any, maybe one. She might be shooting 90%. Down low, Coley tried to stop it and Stewart puts it in.
Stewart.
Yeah, the only way you're gonna stop that is to try to front her and not even let her get the ball on the box. You just can't let her get the ball. And Coley's doing everything she can. It's not an easy task. They're so quick down there as we got a whistle, 2:22 remaining. Here's that nice shot by Coley. Great camera angle there, folks, huh? Look at that, that's just a perfect looking shot. My goodness, Hegdahl now checks out, and Sheffield. Throw in now for Shayla Miller, and she gets it to Faith Johnson. Johnson now drives, gives it up to Reagan Alexander, who's also been hopping. That one's short off the rim, and the rebound goes to the Trojans, and they're on the break. Number 40 is Kraswinski, and she does get it to go down. 6-point lead now. Really important for the Orioles to get some points here. Nope, 2 minutes, quick shot, and off the mark, and here come the Trojans. Look out underneath here late in the first half, and now they've opened up an 8-point lead. Orioles need a basket. Just for some confidence here. 1:46 remaining. And Shayla Miller's shot was blocked. Mara Braun there off the board. Look out in transition. She is dangerous, coming right in off the board, and they're gonna call the charge on Braun. Turek took that charge. Good heads up decision there by Jordan Turek to take that charging call. to just stop the momentum there, because that was almost a certain 2 points on the transition by Mara Brown. Just watch how she can maneuver that basketball in traffic like that. But the experienced Jordan Turk able to thwart that opportunity for the Trojans. Now here come the Orioles in the front court. Sheffield, they need a basket badly here before half. Just to feel good about something here. Such a momentum game, basketball, 1:18 remaining. Far side, Reagan Alexander. Stops, shoots, blocked by the 6'4" Kristen Stewart. Annika Stewart, I'm sorry. And it's gonna be a turnover on the Trojans there. She tripped, and I think that's just what they're gonna call traveling for falling. So 1 minute, 1 second remaining now. 8-point differential, Sheffield with the ball. 55 seconds, she'll now start the offense. Drives in on the left side. Coley, Alexander was open for just a second. Turk now drives the lane, gets it to Sheffield. Shayla Miller has to turn around. Quick defensive hands by the Trojans prevented her from getting that shot off last time, and it prevented her from even shooting it. Now, Reagan Alexander comes up big just when they needed it from three-point land on that far side, and she's been hot from there. 5-point differential, 26 seconds to go. Will the Trojans hold for a last shot? Doesn't look like it. Stewart comes in. She did push her elbow out there. No call. Good defense as the ball comes off the rim. Alexander looks up at the clock as she crosses the timeline. Gets it to Sheffield. Sheffield, Coley's got position down low on Mara. And she gets the foul, and that tells you how tough it is. My goodness. That was quite the collision, folks. And you're going to see brawn on brawn right here. You think these girls don't care? Oh, yeah. Looks like she's going to be okay, which is a good news. Mara Braun is standing there, and there's Kendall Coley after taking that fall. Makes that shot, and she has just been stellar. Now Reagan Alexander and Shayla Miller will check out. In checks Hegdahl, and now Isis Brown is coming in for Turek. With 8.4 seconds left, Arsenio Richardson does not want to give up any fouls to any of his key scorers. And that's Shayla Miller and Reagan Alexander. And meanwhile, on the line, waiting for her second free throw opportunity here is Kendall Coley with all that maneuvering. So Stewart's down here for the Trojans. She makes that. My goodness, Kendall Coley. I wish I had the stat on how many points she had. I might have to go find that out. And now the Orioles just down 3, 8.4 seconds remaining. They can have a good defensive stop here. They can feel pretty good going into this halftime. Stewart now from outside takes the long shot, and it goes in. My goodness. Orioles could have used a break there, but it's a 2-point shot. And your score at halftime, as we look at that replay, watch that thing just bounce in barely. So our score at halftime is 40-35. It's been a great first half. Make sure you come back for half number 2. Welcome back to Park TV 16 Sports on location. We are at the Lindbergh Center, which is the home of the Hopkins Royals high school and sports teams. We are bringing you semifinal action of 6 quadruple A semifinal girls basketball. Wayzata versus St. Louis Park. We're about to begin the second half. Both teams are on the court, ready to begin here. And if you're just joining us, you're in for a treat. I am watching one of the best girls basketball games I've ever seen live in person. And both teams just playing really, really well fundamentally, shooting-wise, defensively, strategy. And it's just been a well-played basketball game so far. St. Louis Park is down 5 points. They are the definitive underdog here, and they had the lead for several minutes in the first half before giving up an 8 to 9 point lead late in the first half, but they were able to claw back. And the Trojans actually made a 2-point shot just as the clock expired. Otherwise, it'd just be a 3-point game. So we're about to begin right in front of our table here. That's number 12, Arnebeck to throw it in. And we're underway here in half number 2. Quickly, they go right down to Stewart. And that was a planned play, obviously. Mara Braun to Stewart, and she gets 2 points. And now it's a 7-point lead. And now Sheffield and St. Louis Park in the white uniforms going left to right. That is Joelle Sheffield to Kendall Coley, who had a great shooting first half, and now she misses the first one in the second half, and now we're gonna have a foul called, I think, on Wayzata, number 23, for a hold underneath. And there's that first basket by Stewart. 6'4", folks. All right, throw in underneath. Shayla Miller will do the honors. And it goes to Turek, and it goes off her fingertips, but Sheffield, fortunately, there to corral it, and now we got to travel on that exchange. Richardson doesn't like the call. He thinks that was a handoff and not a travel. I didn't get a good look at it myself to give an opinion at this point, but there's a turnover, and that's exactly what St. Louis Park needs to cut down on to have a chance against the number, I think they're the 3rd-ranked team in the state here, Wayzata. But I did notice on the scoring sheets, they are missing a woman by the name of Jenna Johnson, who's averaging 21.5 points a game, not playing. And I do see a player over on the sideline in street clothes on crutches. That must be her. And there's Stewart's gonna try to make it up, and that ball bounces off, and a rebound to Reagan Alexander, and she comes away with it across the line to Kendall Coley, takes a long 3, and it doesn't even make it. She was way far out. A little maybe outside her range there. Now Shayla Miller gets it to Turk, in traffic, comes in, gets stuffed, gets the rebound, puts it right back up. Kendall Coley gets the foul. And they're gonna call a shooting foul as Kendall Coley tried to shoot it simultaneously while jumping for the rebound. Right there's that nice putback by Turek, I thought, and right there she tried to shoot it and get the foul, and she says that's a shooting foul. And very smart decision there by Kendall Coley to try to persuade the official. And I'm looking at the official who's getting an argument from the Wayzata head coach over by the scores table as Kendall Coley makes that shot. And the Wayzata coach, Mike Schumacher, not agreeing with that at all and giving the ref an earful as Kendall Coley now makes the second one, and we're back to a 5-point differential. Stewart now, no full court pressure this time by the Orioles. Wayzata didn't seem to have too much difficulty with it in the first half. We'll have to see if Richardson's Orioles will abandon that strategy throughout the second half. We'll come back to it. They go down low. This time Sheffield, she was down low for the backside help there and just wasn't quite enough to get over there. Stewart now 4 points here, down on that block for the Orioles, and that's going to be a problem now. Here comes Kendall Coley. What great fundamentals. I don't know how many points she had first half, but she's got to be approaching 15 now, at least for the match. Maybe nearing 20 already here, early in the second half. All right, now that is Kruglinski to number 12, Arnebeck for the Trojans. Now to the far side, Stewart way outside, makes that. The 6'4", Kristen Stewart. The Carl Anthony Towns can shoot it and deliver on the block. And Shayla Miller comes in, that ball bounces out. And Park's gonna need those balls to bounce in. Now they find themselves down 8 suddenly with 15.5 minutes remaining. And possession of the balls with the Trojans, a chance to take a double-digit lead for the first time tonight. Sheffield almost gets the steal, and they're gonna call a foul on, who is that? 31, Shayla Miller.
That's her 3rd foul.
Her 3rd personal.
Number 4, Faith Johnson.
Boy, I don't know about that call. I see that as a no call. First team foul on the Orioles here in the second half. 3rd one on Shayla Miller, and you can see why he was taking her out. on the defensive end late in the first half to avoid her getting that third foul too soon. Smiley, and now Miller with the steal. 1-on-2, 2-on-2 with Sheffield on the left side. Shayla Miller tries to scoop it in. The diminutive Sheffield gets that rebound. Turk comes in and it gets blocked. And unable to convert the Orioles. And that could hurt as that shot gets off the boards. Rebound to Turk. Got to take care of the ball here if you're an Oriole fan. Okay, now Reagan Alexander. She looks to drive, comes right in with the reverse layup, and she makes it. What a beautiful move by Reagan Alexander. Drives the baseline, goes right by Stewart, and performs the reverse layup perfectly. And that's got to be a boost for her team. And here comes Mara Braun, a little out of control, and they're going to call the foul on number 12, Arnebeck. Right there, Braun trying to force it, and off the boards, and yeah, that's the over the back on number 12, Arnebeck. Good call. Third team foul on Wayzata. 14-14 remaining, 6-point differential. Chance to turn it into a one-possession game, and I do see Shayla Miller is on the bench for the defensive end. Reagan Alexander's in there, though. Now, that shot by Cooper short. Or Kendall Coley, excuse me. Now Coley back out Sheffield as Faith Johnson got that rebound along the baseline. Now Sheffield. Coley takes the shot from way out, short. Rebound, Reagan Alexander, and they're going to call the push on Wayzata. And it did look like Reagan Alexander was pushed as we watched that earlier shot as she drove right in for the reverse, right by the 6'4" Annika Stewart. For Wayzata. Good matchup here. Still down 6 though, the Orioles. They were down 5 at the break. And still about the same. And now there's a timeout on the floor. And I see the Wayzata coach Schumacher working the officials. We look at Arsenio Richardson.
30-second timeout.
And this is a 30-second timeout here. I'm Robert Christensen. Glad you're with us. ParkTV 16 Sports bringing you great high school action from the Lindbergh Center in Hopkins, Minnesota. As we look at the Orioles trying to break through to the final of the 6 quadruple A section finals to go to the state tournament. What awaits them, though, is the maybe the best girls team in the entire country, Hopkins Royals, 28-0, 29-0. But they would love that opportunity. They lost to Hopkins last year in this semifinal bracket, and they're trying to break through to the finals. And there's a pass down low, and Reagan Alexander from just a few feet away off the mark. Rebound to the Trojans, number 15, Lydia Hay, and she quickly gets it in the front court. There's Stewart, Annika Stewart, Tamara Braun. Braun now to the right side. That is number 40, Kruzwinski. Winsky being guarded by Shayla Miller. Now down low, and Reagan Alexander comes up with the front. Great defense there, and that's what I'm talking about. You just can't let Stewart get the ball. And now Shayla Miller delivers the 3 in transition off the dribble. Big time shot there by the Orioles. Shayla Miller, 3-point difference now. Wayzata into the front court. Approaching 13 minutes now in the second half, and that pass all the way over to number 25, Sendon, and it goes all the way in and out. Mara gets the rebound, and she draws the foul. And they're going to call it, I think, on Kendall Coley, as this time she hits the deck, and those two are having a war. Look at Shayla Miller. Look at that beautiful form, folks. Nice and balanced off transition. Now Mara Braun with 12:59 remaining, and that free throw falls in. 4-point lead. 14 fouls for the Trojans. We look at Mara Braun at the free throw line as she prepares for her second shot. And that shot also bounces in. 5-point lead again. Now Turek in the front court. Hegdahl to Miller. Hegdahl. Turek. Here's Kendall Coley, and they front her. Now Turek. Quick defense by the Trojans. Boy, let me tell you what. Now Hegdahl from way outside, off the brim. And racing for it is Turek as she comes up with it. What hustle by Jordan Turek. Another chance here. There's Hegdahl. Now Miller. Sheffield waiting to come in for the Orioles. To play defense, obviously, next time down the court. Now Kendall Coley turns and makes it. Boy, as long as she keeps that ball above her head when she turns, that is just stellar. She has really turned into a beautiful player here. Just scoring lights out tonight. And there's Stewart making that nice shot. Annika Stewart, what are you gonna do? Back to a 5-point lead now. Miller, Richardson calling out instructions on the sideline. Hegdahl wide open over there, passes up the shot. They're looking for Coley in underneath there. She's trying to penetrate that 2-3 zone. And now Miller will take one from the outside, and it goes off the back of the rim. Coley can't quick come with the rebound. Now quick outlet pass descended, and it's one-on-one as she turns back, gives it to Braun. Braun moves to her right, shoots off the rim, rebound Alexander for the Orioles, and a jump ball possession arrow favors the Orioles. And now substitutions. Here's that nice shot. Look at that Coley, how she keeps the ball up there. That is unbelievable. Great training. She is really, really getting good now in her career. All right, now some pressure by Mara Brown on Coley. She finds Turek on the wing, open, makes the layup. No, she misses it. She made the shot, but missed it. Just missed there, so Orioles still down 5 without the ball. Now quick shot on the wing, off the mark. Miller with the rebound, and she gets it ahead to Coley on the right side. Coley looking for Reagan Alexander, but did not see Stewart, who was trailing her. And Stewart comes up with the block, and now a turnover on the Orioles, and that's what they got to cut down on. And now a foul by Turek, who was riding Arna Beck hard there. And got her with the hip there. That's Turek's second personal, team third. Trojans have 4 team fouls. Throw in by Arna Beck. Gets it into Mara Brown now. Now to the far side, that's Hay. Now back to Arna Beck, and she takes a big shot, and rebound by Stewart. Ball came right to her. I thought Reagan Alexander had good position there, and it just, the ball didn't bounce her way. And it's a 7-point lead now. Orioles need a shot, and made one, and there's great defense by the Trojans. Arna Beck on Turek underneath. And the Trojans quickly back into the front court. Stewart's gonna take one from way downtown, and that goes off the rim and out of bounds. Coley, rather than try to grab it, lets it bounce out of bounds. So 10:07 remaining. We're back underway though, clock running. No, not there, now it is. And that is Sheffield, she'll bring it up. And they call a foul, or no, a timeout. Yeah, they're gonna call a foul on Sendin.
Number 25, Sendin, that's her second.
It's her second, team 5th now with 10 minutes to go. So the Orioles just a little bit of touching going on there. A touch foul though, I don't know, I was a little surprised by the whistle. Reagan Alexander takes his seat now. Shayla Miller will throw it in. And that ball gets blocked out of bounds. Nice defense by Braun, who saw that all the way. Okay, throw it. Really bunched in the corner there, folks. Look at that setup. All right, they get into Sheffield. 9:59 remaining. 10 minutes to go here in this match. Winner goes on. Loser, that's it for the year. Coley now fakes that 3-point shot, then takes it, gets blocked by Mara Brown. Boy, Mara Brown is so fast. So quick, number 10 for the Trojans. Just a great, tough player. Look at her come right back there. Just unrelenting. Quick rotation to Turek. And now a penalty, a foul on the Orioles, an offensive foul
Fouls
on
on number 4, Faith Johnson.
Faith Johnson, a push.
For St. Louis Park, 23, Alexander.
So they're calling it tight. Reagan Alexander now checks in on offense. Turk will have a seat. And the differential still 7. 9:38 remaining, clock running. Both teams have plenty of timeouts left. 3 for the Trojans, 4 for the Orioles. And we got a whistle and a side out. Going to Stewart. Oh, and Faith Johnson hurt her ankle on that, and Stewart took the shot, and now they're going to call, and she is in pain over there, Faith Johnson. Oh no, that could be bad. Let's see what this might look like there. Oh, she just caught it. Ouch. Hopefully it's just a bad sprain. Yeah, she knows it. That look on her face is like, okay. Sometimes it's not as bad as you think. They're going to see if she can put some weight on it. Tough situation. So let's see here. No weight on it, not yet anyway. She gets a round of applause as she hops off. Yeah, just one of those fluke things. Just came down on it and kind of against the foot of the Trojan player. Just kind of buckled a little bit. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. She doesn't look like she's in as much pain. I keep an eye on her on the bench, and they're going to keep a look at her. Okay, Orioles with the ball, throw in now, 9:24 remaining. And the Orioles, you got to think they got to make a move here, a run of some kind. Less than 10 minutes remaining. Coley with the turnaround jump shot, and she's kind of lost her touch here in the second half. Not a lot, just a little. And there's a major miscue by the Trojans, and very surprising as Mara Braun looks around like, what the heck? All right, Sheffield in the front court, being guarded closely by Arnebeck. The handoff to Coley. Coley looking for a basket. It's been a while. She gives it off to Reagan Alexander, shoots from the lane, and she gets it to go down. And boy, did she need that one. 53-48, 8:43 remaining here. We're at the Lindbergh Center, Park TV 16 Sports, bringing you all the images here. And there's the shot by Annika Stewart, and boy, she is finding a range here in the second half. The Orioles have been unable to prevent her from getting that ball anywhere. We wonder if they're losing a little energy on defense. Now Reagan Alexander, I don't think she's ready for that. Look at that, nice drive with authority. Holy smokes, Reagan Alexander just showed lightning quickness on that first step and just blew by everybody. What a great drive by Reagan Alexander. 5-point lead now for the Trojans, down underneath, and the interception to Shayla Miller. Makes smart moves here. Here comes Sheffield with the layup, and it goes off. Rebound, Turek finds a way to get it, even though her height advantage was substantially. Now Turek drives, and she got fouled, but no call. Now Sheffield to Turek. Slow it down. Chance to cut the lead to 3 or 2 here. Turek drives the lane, and they call a jump ball, and that's going to be a turnover on the Orioles. Really?
23, Jasmine Smiley replaces number 40.
Let's see here. Yeah, there. I guess. That's the call. 5-point. They've been stuck at 5 since halftime. The Orioles, that is. Now the Trojans a chance to open it back up to 7, make it a 3-possession game. 7 minutes now coming up on remaining in the game, and time's going to start to become a factor here sooner rather than later for the Orioles. Big 3-point shot taken by Lydia Hay, the 6-foot senior. And that came at a nice time if you're a Trojan fan. 8-point lead here, and I do sense this is a witching hour here. The Orioles, they got to make their move, and don't let the Trojans extend their lead here. If it's going to happen, this run needs to happen right about now here. Miller comes right in, can't get it to go. Rebound, gets it. She fights for it. This time she gets it to go, and that's the kind of grit and determination that the Orioles need. And that's a good timeout there by Arsenio Richardson as he comes out to talk to the ref. Look at that, great. It's just pure determination there by Shayla Miller. Puts that ball in there. Lead is now 6 with 6:32 to go. And here's that drive by Reagan Alexander. Just blows by Annika Stewart and then goes in on the reverse side, uses her body to protect the ball from number 15, Lydia Hay, coming from the right side. And she's dealing, folks, with a 6'4" Annika Stewart, and then she had to fend off the 6' Lydia Hay coming in from the weak side. Great drive there by Reagan Alexander. As we look at the Trojan sideline there, they only have 4 losses on the year. Number 2 seed in this very tough 6 quadruple A section. The Royals are the prohibitive favorite to not only win this section, but to win the state tournament. But both of these teams would love the privilege to play them next Thursday right back here at the Lindbergh Center. I'm pretty sure it's here. There's your score, 58-52. This is classic tournament basketball. Can't get more exciting than this. Here comes Mara Brown, 6.5 minutes to go. Braun with it. Over to the near side. I think that's sending. Goes back to Mara Brown. Turnaround jump shot from 3 feet away. Beats Coley. And it's an 8-point lead again for the Trojans. Now Sheffield facing some pressure from number 12, and she runs into Coley. Arna Beck now. Shayla Miller drives the lane. Turek now pulls up on her drive. Good defense by the Trojans. Smiley on Turek. Turek, though, takes her again, drives in, and this time does get a whistle, and it's a traveling call. She's looking for the foul, clearly, and the refs just aren't giving it to her. Hopkins are giving up ground there. They're going to take a slap at it. No call there, and no, I don't think it's a travel, or I think it's just a no call. Play on. Trojans down the front court. Mara Brown, 5:39 to go. No, that's Arna Beck. That shot is short. Rebound off of Braun, and the Trojans turnover. Ball to the Orioles. Leap year day today, February 29th. And the Orioles looking for something, down 8 now. Need to go on a run. Turek will try to start it with a 3-point shot. Goes off the rim, rebound off of Reagan Alexander and the Orioles. 5:17 remaining. And yeah, the Orioles are going to start to press here. They've got to force the issue. Good idea by Richardson here with 5 minutes. They haven't pressed since the first half. They try to beat it on the long shot there to Mara Brown. She comes in with the turnaround and misses. The shot gets her own rebound off. Rebound, Hay for the Trojans, off the mark. Rebound goes to the Orioles and a whistle. And they're going to point in the direction of the Orioles, and they're going to call a foul on number 15, Lydia Hay. First personal for Hay, but I believe, is that the 6th or 17th foul? 16 foul for the Orioles, or for the Trojans. So the Orioles, they're in the 1-and-1. They should try to go to the line now. They need to work that clock. There's Turk underneath, waits for the defender to go by her smartly and makes that layup. Now 6-point differential. They try to, Trojans get the ball in so fast, didn't allow the Orioles to set up the full court press, and the ball gets back down in Stewart's hands, and that's going to be the danger in pressing, as they're going to get beat down on the back end. And there's Shayla Miller driving to answer. Back to 6, 4:28 to go here. Now 23 with it. Smiley for the Trojans to the right side. Arnebeck. Now Braun quickly shoots from 3-point land. Off the mark. And Reagan Alexander with the rebound. 4:12 to go. Now Turk turns, fakes the shot. Over to the top of the key to Sheffield. 4:04 remaining. 6-point, two-possession game, folks. Now less than 4. Reagan Alexander tries the left side, drives, and they're going to call the foul on Stewart with the body, and they're going to give her 2 shots. Let's see here. Yeah, she bumped her. Absolutely. And she's moving. No different than any of the other calls we've seen to go against the Orioles. And some of the Trojan drives here in the second half. Fair call. 17 fouls now to the Orioles 4, which is opposite of the first half. The Orioles got in foul trouble earlier in the first half. And off, gotta make those free throws. Oh, that's disappointing. There's less than 4 minutes to go in a 6-point game, and we got a timeout taken by Mike Schumacher and the Trojans. With 4 minutes to go, he wants to talk it over. Strategy, tight game here. Just 6 points separates these two teams. And there's that bracket. The winner moves to the right there. March 5th. Number 1 Hopkins at the top of the bracket awaits them. And some of those players are here in the end zone, shaking in the match. Scouting it out. Now there's Paige Buchers over there with their teammates. We look at some Oriole fans here in their orange and black. Wayzata band here. And this game's still very much in doubt. 62-56, 3:47 remains. St. Louis Park in the bonus. I would be driving them every time and trying to get to the line. They foul you before the shot, you go for a one-on-one. If they foul you while you make the shot, you get the automatic 2. Try to get some of these Trojans into foul trouble, especially Stewart. Just drive right at her and get her to foul you. Braun throwing the elbows around. She's a tough player for the Trojans, number 10. Now 23 with it. Smiley. Tamara Braun. Now Hay to send it, rotates it all the way back around to Smiley. Now all the way back across court to Hay again, and she puts the big 3 up there off the mark. Stewart pushes it out of bounds against the Trojans, so Orioles get the ball. Great defensive sequence there. 3:21 remains here in the second half. 62-56. Faith Johnson now checks in. Shayla Miller will throw it in. Senden will put some pressure on Sheffield just to slow him down a little bit. Chance here for St. Louis Park. Cut it to 3 or 4. Shayla Miller almost stepped out of bounds there when she took that. Very close. Now Coley, Sheffield. 3 minutes now remaining. Shot and turnover. That's a trouble. Now Braun with almost a breakaway. No, what defense by Sheffield, and Turk gets that rebound. 2:53 remaining, still a 2-possession game. Now in transition, Reagan Alexander gets stuffed by Stewart. Monica Stewart stuffs her. What action here. Now Braun into the front court, and she gets fouled from behind by Shayla Miller. And that's just going to be the 15th foul, so the Orioles still have another foul to give. There's Shayla Miller. Playing her heart out here. 62-56. The Orioles have been stuck on this number for quite a while. Need a break here. Braun for the Trojans. 2:30 remaining. Both coaches off the bench. Stewart from outside delivers from about 17 feet, just beyond the free throw line. And now it's another 8-point lead. Shayla Miller comes in on the running layup and off the mark. Rebound to the Trojans, 2:15 remaining here. And now Mara Braun will take her time. Turk trying to force the issue. 2:09 remaining. 8-point differential here. Hegdahl now in the match, guarding Senden, putting pressure on her. Now Stewart way out. 1:54 remaining. Trojans in no hurry here with an 8-point lead. And they may be just waiting to be fouled here. My guess is Hegdahl almost came up with a steal. she's awful quick, folks. And she does force the turnover. The 8th grader, Kaya Hegdahl, causing trouble. Look at that, great defense. And you know what? It's like she has eyes in the back of her head, great instincts. She knew that ball might be out there. She put her hand there. And now the Orioles have a chance. That was a huge possible turnover just to give them a chance. Now, Yorosh into the match, gets it down to Coley. Shayla Miller at the top of the key. And the senior shot off the mark. Rebound to the Trojans, and that might be it here for the Orioles, I'm afraid. Running out of time, and there's the forced foul by Kendall Coley to stop the clock with 1:20. So it's the Trojans' game to win here. They make their free throws, although they're not going to go to the line quite yet, as they did have one more foul to give the Orioles, that is. And so the Trojans will get a throw in on the near sideline here. That is Lydia Hay for the Trojans into Mara Brown. Brown now, very skilled sophomore at the point. Now she gets double teamed, in trouble, and timeout. She's bailed out by her coach, Mike Schumacher, on that timeout call with 1:11 to go. No shot clock here in high school girls basketball, so there's really no reason for the Trojans to shoot the ball at all. And a timeout as we look at some of the Oriole fans in the crowd. It's been a great basketball game here. The Orioles had the lead for a substantial portion of half number 1, but they went into halftime down 5, and now they're down 8. They were within 5 after being down 8, but it's never been more than 8. I don't think it ever got quite to 10. But they've just been sort of stuck in this rut here of just down 6, down 8, down 5, and weren't able to break through. They had the ball down 5 with a chance to cut it to 3 or 4, but they have been unable to get over that hump at that moment all second half. And now they got a foul. And there's Hegdahl. Oh, they called the foul on her. Could have been a jump ball. The possession arrow does favor the Orioles. Wow, Hegdahl. She'll be back next year along with Coley and Reagan Alexander. So the Orioles, they're going to lose Shayla Miller and Jordan Turek, and they are going to miss those two very experienced veterans. But they've got talent coming back next year, folks, the Orioles. And I'm not saying they're going to lose this game just yet. But every year they've gotten better. And there's Sendon, number 25, makes that shot. And it's a 9-point lead, 3-possession game. Mike Schumacher, the head coach, love that free throw. A couple claps there. He's probably starting to relax a little bit with this shot. It's a 4-possession game. Now Yorosh. Jordan Turek, the senior, takes a shot and gets the shot to go, and one. Critical mistake by the Trojans. Smiley with a 9-point lead, touching, fouling like that. What are you doing? It's the kind of stuff that drives coaches crazy. So it gives the Orioles a chance now. They can convert this free throw. Be a 7-point game with 1:02 to go. Changes everything if she can get that to go. 7 points. It's a 3-possession game, but that's not unheard of with 1:02. Man, nice job by the Trojans breaking the press. Beautiful. Now they're trying to foul, and they do. They foul Mara Brown. And that foul comes with 53.7 seconds to go.
31, Miller, 13, Yarosh.
So Yarosh comes in. Faith Johnson sits down. Oh, Johnson's nice to see. She's back out there, so her ankle's just fine. Although I do see she just took a seat there. They do have it wrapped up, and she's favoring it, but she did get some playing time, so it looks like she'll be okay. Now Trojans, 45 seconds, playing keep away here, and doing a good job. Orioles, I don't know if they're trying to foul or steal it. Looks like they're trying to steal it. Now they finally get the grab, and they foul Annika Stewart, number 30.
Fouls on number 31,
Shayla Miller.
Fifth foul.
That's her 5th, Shayla Miller, and that's as a senior. That's it for her, unless they can pull out a win here. Just looking at her over there. Yeah, she played a lot of minutes here for St. Louis Park, folks. gave a lot of herself to this team. I've seen her play now 3 years, and I'm sure it is emotional, as it is for Jordan Turk. They're the 2 lone seniors. They've seen this program really take off under their leadership and with the leadership of some of the underclassmen. And yeah, just looking at Shayla Miller, there's the tears over on the sideline. Tough to see these memories start to end here in high school as a senior. Okay, here comes Reagan Alexander into the front court, and that pass misses Turk, and there's a turnover. Faith Johnson will check in, and she's not favoring that ankle hardly at all. Yarosh will have a seat, but the Orioles still have a very young team. They're gonna have a bunch of seniors next year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seniors next year, folks. And that's when they're gonna be able to make a run in this section tournament next year. I have a feeling we'll be here again in a semifinal watching these same Orioles take on Wayzata or Hopkins. And the tables may very well be turned on the scoreboard 1 year from now at this very location. And there is Mara Braun.
13 yards replaces number 4.
Makes that free throw. Good year overall for the Orioles. They're going to end up 14 and 13. They're much better than that record. They played a very tough schedule early on. And they had a very good season here getting to the semifinals. And like I said, they have a lot to look forward to next year. Faith Johnson coming back, Kaya Hegdahl, the 8th grader, coming back, Reagan Alexander, Kendall Coley, both juniors. And there's a made shot, and so it's 8-point difference, 12.4 seconds. We look at Reagan Alexander. Boy, she's really learned to do those drives with authority. I really can't wait till next year. And of course, we'll be bringing you them Orioles volleyball in the fall, and Kendall Coley and Reagan Alexander are the stars. They're both, I think, 6 feet tall exactly, or 6'1", somewhere around there. If we look at Arsenio Richardson, hoping for a miracle here with 12.4 seconds remaining. Okay, following the timeout, Mara Braun underneath. And the press being employed by the Orioles. Into Annika Stewart. Senden gets fouled by Faith Johnson.
Foul is on number 4.
8.8 seconds remaining.
Senden goes to the line.
And that is Senden. Bryn Senden, just a 9th grader out there, 5'6" freshman. And her shot goes in. And she makes shot number 2. Now Coley into the corner to Alexander. 3 seconds. She takes her 3 shot and makes it. Timeout. Quickly taken. With 0.6 seconds remaining, the score is 71-64. Reagan Alexander. Nice shot there to finish the season, and you can see the home fans there on the road here in Hopkins cheering their St. Louis Park Orioles team, and that is really nice to see. I feel goosebumps looking at that. They have been an enthusiastic, supportive group all year long at all the home games we've been at. Been a lot more excitement around this girls program here this year, and they deserve that round of applause from family, friends, and fans there, as the Orioles have provided great entertainment here. Okay, following the timeout. Whoa, they put 1.2 seconds back on the clock. If I do my math, 7-point differential, I think it's probably mathematically impossible, and they're just gonna let it run out there. They didn't even call that foul, and there is the final whistle. The Trojans band starts up for a victory march, and there's your final score from Lindbergh Center. Wayzata takes it 71-64. They'll move on to the final against Hopkins. For Paul Broden, our producer, and everyone connected with Park TV 16 Sports, I'm Robert Christensen. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again.